and Michael, your songs. Jerry Lynn, thank you, and Bob and Jeff, thank you so much for our musical team.
Woo!
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at all of you guys. Oh, all right, let's get started. So, this morning, remember, you're living someone else's impossible wish. I want you to think about this. The simple act of waking, of breathing, of stepping into light is a privilege denied to many. Let your first smile be a thank you for the ordinary, for being here for this day. So, think about that. Don't take any day for granted. I missed you guys Sunday. Thank you for all of you that reached out to me. I did have a rough day Sunday, and I'm feeling better. Still not 100%, so if I kind of get a little woo-woo, then you'll know that that's just who I am. All right? So our talk today title is Be the Calm in the Storm. And I love that. I love that we all have this beautiful light. And I love that here's the storm and this guy's going, nope, not buying it. I'm bringing in the sun. I'm bringing in the light. And that's so important to really think about that. No matter what tornadoes are spinning around you, you have this one power to not get caught up in the storm. And God knows we've had a few storms lately, right? So I'm not trying to be political here, but, the people on the left, they're doing what they think they were told to do. And there may be some there that aren't real crazy about it, but this is what they have to do. There may be others that are like, oh, put me in. We don't know. And then the ones on the right are standing up for something that they believe in, for something that they're trying to bring the light, although it may not feel like light with their energy and so forth, but their heart is they care about people. And they want to see them being protected. They want to see their rights being, stood up for. So we have this going on. I mean, I personally don't remember anything quite as chaotic in our country since like the 60s, like when we had, the Vietnam War and people were protesting. We had all the little peace sit-ins and everything. The hippies came out. And so there's always been this. And we're grateful that there are people that care about others. So when the winds of human discord howl around us, we are called to be the stillness at the center. And I love that picture of here's somebody's hurting, you don't know what's going on, and they're feeling the love. Somebody's there to hold them, to reach out to them. Have you ever had something happen in your life where it was so nice that you had a dear friend or relative that was there and that you could be that light for them? I look around this room and I look at all this light. Look at all this love in this room. Like I love it when I come in here. I always share this, how you feel the love in this room. And it's important. And I know that you also take that love outside these doors. And that's why you come here, to be reminded of who you truly are. So I know I've shared this before, but for those of you who have never heard this before, so I was going through a dark time in my life. My husband and I, we had split up. It had been a little while, and I had my little boys, and we were up in Lake Tahoe with my business partner Donna. She has 2 boys, and I have 2 boys, and so we were taking them skiing up in Lake Tahoe. And as I was going through a bad time, and I was meditating, like, oh my God, what am I doing, blah, blah, just trying to meditate. And in the quietness of that meditation, my eyes closed, I kept seeing a light flashing. And I'm like concentrating, what the heck, what is that? And then I got this idea in my heart, oh, no matter how dark it is, God's always there. That light is always there. And it calmed me down. And then the next thing that came out is, no, Laura, that's your light. And wherever you go, that light is there. So shortly after that, I hadn't found spirituality yet, but a friend told me about this lady in San Diego, and I took some spiritual classes. And we had to write what we thought our mission was. And so this was mine, Beacon of Light. I am a beacon of universal light and unconditional love. I heal myself by allowing all my feelings to flow freely without judgment, blame, shame, or guilt. I accept and love all of me. I share this wisdom with others, freeing them of ignorance and limitations, guiding them back to their true essence of pure love and pure light, guiding them back to God. And so I hadn't even found this teaching yet. But it was almost like a premonition of, to accept this love and share this wisdom. And so when you come here on Sunday, between the three of us, we share this wisdom to remind you how amazing you are and how powerful you are. And there are no accidents. I always say that in this universe as to why you are here right now during what's going on in our world. So you can argue with people, but the thing is, you're not going to change their mind. So as I say, sometimes you just got to zip it. Just got to zip it. Oh, that's what you think. Okay, well, all right, But you're not going to change it unless they ask you. Unless they're asking you, well, this is what I'm feeling. What do you think? That's different. But you know what? Be that beacon of light wherever you go, because that's who you truly are. So no matter what the storm is, be that light. That's how we get through life. That's how we get through everything. Don't get sucked in to the anger, because it sure doesn't do your body any good. It doesn't do anybody any good. Be that light. So when I got my diagnosis, my cancer diagnosis, my boys approached Reverend William and asked them to make me this. And it says, you are our guiding light, always strong and always shining. We love you, Ryan, Corey, Tiffany, Olivia, and Emma. And I have that in my bedroom, and I see it every day. Great job, Reverend. Oops, sorry. And, but be that guiding light wherever you go. Let people feel that energy, that light, because you aren't separate. The teacher, master teacher Jesus, God and the Father and I are one. You are one with that power. You can do so much. You don't ask, you feel it, you claim it, you know it is yours. And you're like a magnet. It comes through you as you. So be that light wherever you go. And then life is easier when you stop fighting it. The rain will fall whether you complain or not. People will act the way they do, whether you stress about it or not. Focus on what you can change and let go of what you can't. So think about that. Don't fight life. Say, what good is that doing you? What good is the world? What is good is the world? Unless you have an idea that you can do to help people, then that's great. It's not that you're fighting anything. It's like, just little things. Just little things when you're crossing, like at the grocery store, and the car stops for you. Thank you. They saw you, and you want them to know that you appreciate it. It's little things like that mean so much in this world. You have that power, that light to touch that, no matter what's going on. So with that, the older you get, the more you realize how precious life is. You have no desire for drama, conflict, or stress. You just want good friends, a cozy home, food on the table, and people who make you happy. Right? Those are the important things. And I just want you to know, you all make me happy. Thank you. Part 2.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Laura.
You're welcome. I love you.
This is going to be a very dynamic talk with the three of us, I can already tell. I have no idea what Dr. Dale's about ready to say, and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to say. So let's see here. When I look back on my life, I have fond memories even of the bad times or hard times. Single and raising 2 boys. Or actually, before I was... This is B.E., before Elizabeth. Okay? Just want to make that sure. This is B.E. I was working 3 jobs at one time. Working, it must have been 100 hours, 40, 80, 100-hour plus weeks, doing everything I could to try to make ends meet. I was literally burning the candle at both ends. And it was hard times. But I seemed to just wake up on that treadmill. Oh, today I got to wake up. Okay, I got to do this. I'm doing that, and then I go on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And before you know it, oh, it's time to go to sleep. Wake up, do it again. Rinse, repeat, as they say. Rinse, repeat. When we are close to things, we see the storm, the chaos, and the uncertainty of outcome. Thank you for your photo. But that doesn't have to be the case. Storms are going to come and go. That's a fact. Life is dynamic. It is not static, meaning that there's always going to be something new unfolding, which means that the old has to find its way out of existence or out of our consciousness. And that's always a constant flux. I'm wondering where I'm going to get this book. Moving along, these are not the... move along. These are not the droids you're looking for. Trying to get a little bit of a Star Wars there, because I like Star Wars, and especially my sister. But that's just it. Move along. These are not the droids you're looking for. This is not the hill you need to die on. There's nothing to stand on because it's always a constant flux. Now I'm going to set this down. In Science of Mind, page 271. Let me get to it right here. I want to read this to you. The student should take time every day to see his life as he wishes it to be, and to make a mental picture of his ideal. He should pass the picture over to the law and go about his business with certain assurance that on the inner side of his life, something is taking place. There should not be any sense of hurry or worry about this. Just a calm, peaceful sense of reality. Let the law work through and express itself in, not have to make the law work. It is its nature to work. In gladness, then, we should make known our desires, and in confidence we should wait upon the perfect law to manifest through us. That got me thinking. Be the calm in the storm. Is the storm something outside of us? From that, let's look at it a different way. The storm is within me. The storm is the duality of consciousness that is within each and every one of us. And spirit always manifests. If that storm is inside of me, what am I telling spirit to do? I'm telling spirit to manifest chaos in my life, which causes me to think that all of this is my responsibility. It's mine to do. Life is always in a constant state of flux. It is our interpretation of life that either causes us to see the storm as a destructive force or a place to be in gratitude of life's experiences. Again, going back to Dr. Laura's photo of the standoff, one side or the other. It's a great analogy, but again, that analogy is within us. It is not something external. What I think, I bring about. So all of this, whatever is going on in your life, is something that you have control over. You may not have control over people outside of you. The point is to have control over how you react to it. That's what this is all about. That is the calm that we are speaking of. Sometimes praying brings about chaos and struggle. Seriously? If you pray for courage, the universe will give you opportunities to be courageous. It doesn't just make you all of a sudden you're the cowardly lion. You're asking spirit to create opportunities for you to rise above, to become that, to be the 4 bars, like I said last week. So when you see things happening in the totality of life, these are opportunities to manifest your prayers. We pray for peace. We pray for acceptance. We pray for love. From this one statement, wouldn't it make sense that spirit would manifest something so that we would have to look within ourselves and create that feeling? Only by us creating that feeling within ourselves can it radiate out and become manifest. Everything comes to pass. Nothing is constant. I'm not even going to say that joke. That's too old. But it is so true. I may be in the ditch today, but that's just for now. I may be on the mountain, but that's just for now. I have no idea what's happening 2 seconds from now, let alone a week. But the love I have, the love I give, the peace I have, the peace I give, that I have control over. It's not going to be constant. And what I mean by that is it's not going to be the same power and passion. Because again, life is ever flowing like the ocean. Some days I'm going to be more peaceful than others. Some days I'm going to have more love to give than others. But it's always there. It's always inside of us. Move along. What the heck? I totally messed up. Welcome to my life. There is no storm. There's only winds of change. Okay, now let's go forget about my other slides here, but these are not the droids you're looking for. No, there is no storm. There's only winds of change, and that's what I'm talking about. Nothing is constant. Life is always changing. Accept that. Hold on to it. Love that. Live an expectant life. Know that a storm is going to come. And that you have the power to weather it. More than that, you have the power to grow from it and to become grander and greater and more expansive than the pre-storm. When we sing the peace song, the universe does not fill you with peace, rainbows, and unicorns. It brings a storm so we can learn to be peaceful. Be the calm in the storm. You don't have to stand up and yell at somebody who has a different opinion of yours. Like Dr. Laura was saying, hear what they have to say. And whether you agree with it or not, you stay centered in spirit. And if it is something that resonates with you, then fine. Go along with it. Help that person. If it's something that doesn't, go about your business. Show that person that love and that compassion. How can we change things if someone else says something and that I have a reaction and I have to fight them about it? How is God answering my prayer of peace in the world if I can't be that peace? There's a lot of food on the table. There's a lot of digestion. A lot of digestion mentally, spiritually. There are storms, but they're beautiful. Look at the hurricanes. When I'm in the storm, when I may be in Texas or Florida or South Carolina, when those winds are blowing, it's not nice. It doesn't feel good, but I can weather it. But when I can stand back as an astronaut looking at this beautiful globe, and you see that beautiful pattern of the clouds, isn't a hurricane beautiful? It's all about perspective. I can be in the storm. I can weather it. But it's my consciousness, my spirituality that allows me that even though the winds are blowing, I can see the beauty of the change because I know that life is always expanding. And I know that the grass always grows with the sunlight. So be the calm in the storm.
Oh my gosh, I got to follow all that wisdom. Whoosh. We're going to go a little long today. I apologize, but it'll be worth your while. Oh my God, somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Hi, guys. Whew. So how many people out here are on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and right? How many of you? Don't you love it when you find like the perfect meme, right? The perfect picture and statement. Well, here's mine. The state of the world, and that's me with the cat. And I wanted to show this to you because a lot of us have not just, it's not just the storms that are happening in the world at large, but we've got our own storms in our own lives. And so I just want to acknowledge every type of storm that we can face in life, but to know that there is a formula for it all. There's not one for the strife in the world. There's not a separate one for our own inner strife. We have tools at our disposal here that can help us through it all. So we don't ignore the storm, right? A lot of people who listen to us might say, God, you guys are always just saying, look that direction, don't look at that, and we're ignoring reality. We do not ignore reality. We acknowledge it, absolutely, but what we know is that we have tools that we can use that get us through and these experiences of life that are challenging. So we're not ignoring them, we see them and we move forward. So being the calm in the storm doesn't mean you ignore the rain. It means you remember you've got an umbrella, right? We all have a treasure trove of skills and tools to use, and we're here just to remind you all that you've already got it inside of you. So as we've, there might be a little repetition here. I will do my best to make it fresh and new for you that you've just heard. So we're not this storm, we're just experiencing it. We need to stop looking at the elements. I think what happens with storms is very normal, right? I'm just like you. I see a storm, and all of a sudden, I am the turbulence. It's all around me. It's inside of me. I am the thunderstorm. But we need to stop identifying with those elements and close our eyes and focus on the inner peace that Dr. Laura and Reverend Williams spoke of. Focus on the inner peace that's inside of ourselves. And as we all said to you already, this too shall pass. So these are some tools that move us from being so in the turbulent state of whatever storm we're walking through. So we're always at choice. I know it's hard sometimes, right? We've got all this stuff coming down, and we're really nervous and uptight and upset, and we can feel as though we have no choice. We are victims to this. But that is not the truth. We have a choice to make a change, to pull out the umbrella, to do whatever it is that we need to do that gets us out of the storm and into calm water. And yeah, we can't control the weather, as we all just said. We can't control the storms of life. They happen. It's part of life. But we can control our response to it. That is totally in our power. So we do influence the outcome. We can influence the outcome of any storm that comes into our lives. And calm is contagious. There's a story that Thich Nhat Hanh talks about where he says that there's this group of refugees who are leaving a war-torn country, and there's a lot of them piling into a boat. And the boat heads off into very stormy seas. And everybody's getting really afraid and nervous, and they're starting to tip the boat. But one person gets calm. One person tells everybody to just relax. One person gets the whole boat calm and peaceful so they can navigate through the storm and get to where they are going. And it's we who can be that one person. It just takes one, just one, and we are it. The three of us come up here every Sunday, and we are that one person, especially when there's a lot going on in our world that we don't understand. We have the courage and the faith to stand up here and be that one person in the face of adversity because we know spiritual truth. We know what you guys have inside of yourself as this power, this transformative power that will help you relax, that will help you see more clearly. So while we cannot always control external events, we can cultivate inner stability, equanimity, and compassion, which not only sustains ourselves, but also offers strength and clarity to those around you. And that's why we called our talk what we called it, for us to be the calm in the storm, because look what we can do. We can bring the peace. That's what that cat does for me. I can be all freaked out about the world. I look at my cat. He's not upset. Why am I? Animals have a way. They have a way. So the buffalo and the bamboo. What the heck is this, the sameness of the buffalo and the bamboo here? They teach us about non-resistance and acceptance and resilience. Nature has so much to teach us, so much. And these two beings, because they are both beings, have something to teach us when we get through storms, when we get in a storm. What's so fascinating is the buffalo, if there's a storm, they don't just hang out, they don't find shelter, they move through it. They charge, they go, because there's this inner wisdom inside of them that tells them if they just go through and go through it, they'll get through it quicker. And that is natural wisdom for us, right? Instead of resisting it, instead of cowering, meet it where it is and go through it using our toolbox, right? Because they're resilient. You're resilient. We are resilient. There wouldn't be storms if we didn't have something inside of ourselves that we could call upon to move us through it with ease and grace. Now, the bamboo is a different story. The bamboo is very strong, but it doesn't move. It's a plant, right? But it is resilient in that it just moves and bends. It just goes with the flow and the energy of the storm. Bamboo is flexible, bending with the wind, but never breaking, capable of adapting to any circumstance. This is us. This is who we are. It suggests resilience, meaning that we have the ability to bounce back even from the most difficult times. Now, I look in this room. I know a lot of you very well. I've walked you through some of your storms. And I know there's at least 1,000 storms that have happened to you all and me in this room. And look at us. Here we are. We did it. We did it. Because you got it inside of you. Yeah. Be still and know. This is one of my favorite things from the Bible. Be still and know that you are spirit, that you are God, that you are the presence and the power and the love and the energy. It is you. And when we're going through a storm, if we can be still, I know it's hard. I know you got the trees going, you got the wind blowing. How can you be still and know? Because you can. You can find a quiet place. Be still and know. And boy, does that open up a field of energy for you to dive into, to call into your awareness, to experience deeply, even in any storm. That be still and know is much bigger than any storm that can happen. So I got to researching about storms and the eye of the storm because I'm very inquisitive and I like to know as much as I can about things. So the eye of the storm, as Reverend William was talking about, happens in hurricanes, right? There's an eye in the storm, and it's a very calm, peaceful place, which is really interesting, right? You've got this storm, but there's the eye, where it's all calm and peaceful. So that's where we go metaphorically, to go into the eye of the storm rather than the wind, rather than the rain, rather than the lightning. So instead of getting lost in the elements, find your center and stay there. And so I add, be the I am of the storm. And I know there's lots of you here who go, what is this I am? Some of you know what it is, some of you don't. And we speak of it a lot. To be the I am is to be the presence inside of you. To be the I am is to be peaceful, is to be love, is to be calm, because we all have the I am inside of ourselves. We teach that in our philosophy. We are not separate from God. When we're in a storm, we're not begging to God to help us. We're going inside, being still and saying, I am the I am. And just saying that, even if your mind is going, I don't get it, I want to give you an assignment. Just say it. Go to your heart and say, I am the I am. Say it 10 times. See what happens. It's going to shift something inside of you because it's a thing of the heart. It's not a thing of the mind or the brain. Saying I am the I am opens up energy that may have been locked or restricted to you. But when you start to say that, something opens up and you start to feel the calm that comes from knowing you are the I am. So here's a fun fact about the eye of the storm. It's air, I know this is so technical, air converging towards the center of the storm, and then it sinks, which ends up actually evaporating clouds, and it creates the calm conditions. And I thought, this is such a metaphor for us. Follow me. So when we're the I am, when we're in that energy of love and peace and faith and just knowing all is well, no matter what, when we are in that energy, any air, anything that comes into that vortex that we create with our energy, it just falls and it disappears, because if you're focused on spirit, chaos evaporates. It totally evaporates. I'm here to tell you, it evaporates. So the more we can focus on spirit and be the I am that I am in the storm, that chaos falls away inside of ourselves. So storms are part of life. As Reverend Williams said, storms are going to come and storms are going to go. They are a part of life, and as he mentioned, there is good in their aftermath. There's this really great story about this couple, and the wife liked to do the gardening, and she was doing the gardening one day, and she lost her wedding ring. Her precious wedding ring was lost in the dirt, and she had her husband come out, and they looked, they could not find it. But then a big storm happened, and their whole backyard got wiped out. But it loosened up the dirt, and she found her ring. Something valuable she found after the storm. And there's so much. When we can have that calm, Reverend William was saying that he had a lot of storminess in his BE time of his life, a lot of storminess. But when he looks back on it, he was telling me earlier, when he looks back on it, he sees the good that storm brought to his life. And that is for us to see too. Because, yeah, the storms aren't fun. They are not comfortable. I'm right there with you. But in their aftermath, when that sun starts to break through, when the water starts to calm, when we have a chance to just collect ourselves, we start to see the gifts that came from it. So you will not be the same after the storms of life. They're real change agents for us. They are. They're change agents. Otherwise, we wouldn't do nothing. We would just sit there and be what we are. The storms force us into change. But when we can mindfully move through those storms and have a presence, have clarity, have just a mindfulness, an openness to seeing what good we can see, it's a game changer. See, it says you will be stronger, you'll be wiser and more alive than ever before. We really will. Storms do grow us. Here's some tips for being the calm in the storm. I have to have my list of tips. You want to take a step back and breathe. When we're scared and freaked out, we stop breathing. We get shortness of breath, and then it just screws everything up. We gotta breathe. It really allows us to relax. It allows your central nervous system to relax. Breathing is very important to do deeply and powerfully and consciously. Get a good affirmation to shift your focus. Here's one: this too shall pass. Or how about be still and know? Or right where I am, God is. These have a relaxing effect on us to get something nice to just get your mind centered. I'm always going to tell you to meditate and pray. It's going to take you so far inside of yourself. The more you can go in and go in and go in, the calmer you're going to be through anything. Connecting with other people for support, that's a great thing. Talk. It helps get your energy moving. It helps you understand. It helps you have that support. And also, trust in your higher power. Have faith, because that is going to be your grounding. To understand that what is unfolding is part of something bigger that you are, and to trust in the direction that things are moving. So my last slide is, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. That's really what would be the most wonderful way to move through the storms of life. Yeah, they have their edges. Yeah, they have their challenges. But if we could dance through them, it's a whole lot better than shivering and cowering. It's meeting it like the buffalo does, right? Meeting it head on. Allowing yourself to be with it, to move through it, to dance with it, and move into a new state of calm and peace. So it's up to all of us to be the calm in the storm. Like I said, it just takes one person to move the energy, and that's what we're here to do for each other. And so be that's calm. Y'all have it inside of yourself to do it. In this time and place in our world, it's up to us to bring it in, and I know we can all do it together. Thank you.